The problem? The poplar wood was lighter and softer than oak. It wouldn't hold the weight of the sander. It danced. It was partly her fault, for she didn't have the grip in her hands or the know-how to hold a lightweight wood while sanding. Barbara was smart enough to know her body couldn't continue to take this abuse. She had to do something. Pain pushed her. Temper pushed her. Desperation pushed her. She headed for the shower, her mind in replay. Bits and pieces of her last conversation with an Amish friend raked her thoughts feverishly. She remembered that he had said something about getting hardwood in Huntland, Tennessee. Hardwood. That's where she was missing it. She had to get back into hardwood. Hardwood such as oak and hickory. She rashly decided she was going to Huntland. Hurriedly, she jerked her clothes off, stepped under the spray of water. She screamed when the water struck her angry, red, raw flesh. The pain refueled her senseless anger. 5 miles from her house, speeding on her way to Huntland, the imp harassing her mind asked, "Where's Huntland?" The question soon began to hammer her mind. "It's above Pulaski," she muttered unconvincingly. "I know it's next to Pulaski," she tried hard to convince herself, becoming more agitated by the moment. Taken hostage by stubbornness, she continued to drive her truck toward the small southern town located in Middle Tennessee. Come on," she hissed, pushing her memory frantically, no longer evading truth. Still, the contents of her conversation with the Amish man remained just out of reach. She flipped back into angry delusion and mocked her fear. Those Amish boys drives horses and buggies. Can't be too far from Pulaski. She thumped the steering wheel in silent rage. I'll find it. Home delivery never crossed her mind. What's the business name? The imp persisted. What's the business name? She stammered aloud, realizing she didn't have the first clue. She stomped her brakes and jarred to a stop. Her lips quivered, and her delusion was finally arrested. She clutched the steering wheel, oblivious to the fact she is in the middle of the road. "Barb, you are out of your mind." A reactor by nature, she had pulled some daring stunts in these last 2 years of hell, but this one was first prize. She faced the brutal truth about herself. Here she was racing towards some unknown town, searching for some nameless business. How far out could she get? Feeling whipped, she wiped a tear. Moments later, she glanced down to the tattered, worn leather Bible laying on the seat beside her. "What do I do now?" she asked her traveling companions Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. "Am I defeated?" Humility had now replaced her anger. Her fight gone, she paid little attention when her foot slipped off the brake. The truck crept down the incline with a will of its own. At the bottom of Powder Mill Hill, she glanced out the window and saw the outdoor display of crafts. She braked, turned in, and parked. Why? She couldn't have told you. She lived less than 8 miles from this business. Traveled by it often. However, she never remembered stopping there. Minutes passed before she made a move to open the truck door. However, when she stepped inside the craft shop, her problems were put on a back burner. She was awed by the stunning array of different craft items and beautiful handmade quilts. "Can I help you?" She turned unaware that she was rudely staring at the tall, good-looking man. She was thinking a real frontiersman. A frontiersman that fit the elements. She hastily glanced around the inside of the high, rustic-looking building. And still captured by thought, she turned slightly and stared out the undressed window. Tears filled her eyes as she watched the rainbow colors dancing up and down the tumbling waterfall at the beck of the sun. She sniffed the perfumed smell of soap and candles as it permeated the air. The smell of hickory wood burning in the pot-bellied stove stirred her childhood memories. This man and his craft were pure country. The country atmosphere bathed and revived her as water to desert chap lips. "Can I help you?" the mountain-looking man repeated, seeing he had her attention this time. "Do you know of a place in Huntland where you can buy wood?" she asked, telling him of her relationship to the Amish people. "Tennessee Valley wood?" he asked. "Probably," she murmured, praying her ignorance didn't show, but inwardly aware that the name didn't strike a memory. He immediately began to give her directions. "Please, could you draw me a map?" She interrupted him and added, "I ain't too good with this driving business and direction thing." He showed no arrogance and did as she asked. Not only that, he walked her through that map, pointing out certain details, even down to the auto parts house nearby, and cautioned her to be sure and turn above this business. She thanked him and clutched the map in her hand. "Be sure to stay on Highway 64, and you can't get lost," he called out, smiling when she turned and gave him a salute. She found Tennessee Valley wood that day, and some great guys as well. She's still doing business with them today. Barbara will tell you that she believes in divine guidance. Her first meeting with Todd Yanyan was 10 years ago, over 10. Yet that meeting is as fresh in her mind as if it happened yesterday. And you can't imagine her shock upon learning years later Todd was a former Mennonite. She believed strongly that he was handpicked by her heavenly guidance to help her that day. Todd's last words, "Stay on Highway 64 and you can't get lost," was stamped on her mind. She followed his directions to the letter. For 2 whole years, she hogged the highway, weaving trailer loads of wood right smack through the middle of the adjoining town of Huntland, Tennessee. She was so focused on Highway 64, she paid no attention to horn-blowing, angry cussing of the impatient drivers who frantically waved her toward the alternate truck route, which I told you that. But remember, folks, it ain't over till it's over.